good earnings by US companies and EU leaders reaching a historic deal on a stimulus package have seen global stocks surging today. The European Union deal has also been a shot in the arm for commodities. Newzroom Afrika Business Editor Xolani Mbanjwa joins us for more on this. Xolani, good evening to you. The JSE particularly strong today. I mean, here we are talking about losing 1.3 million jobs, and there's the JSE, but it's fine. The markets are working well.
Yeah, no, it's we haven't seen it particularly early in the morning at around just when it opened for a couple of minutes. It shot up to levels last seen in January, way before COVID-19, and a lot of it had to do with some of the positive, news coming out of Europe that EU leaders had actually come to an agreement on that, a multi-billion euro deal. Some of it is going to be grants. I think it's 390 billion euros, and the rest is going to be, in terms of loans. So when you look at, the JSE, the all-share index reaching 57,000 points and actually doing quite well, and the top 40 companies, a list of companies also doing quite well today. Those were tracking international stocks which did very, very well today, which continues to do well. When it comes to the commodities, rather the currency price, we've seen also the rand reaching pre-COVID-19 levels. I think the last time it was at 1648, it was around the 17th of March. That was a couple of days before we actually went into that National Disaster Act, and the dollar being as weak as it has been against its rivals, and it's been a good day for the rand once again, and it's been another good day for commodities. We've seen gold, highest when it comes to, in 9 years, Stephen, we haven't seen gold reaching $1,835 per ounce in 9 years. The last time was September in 2011. So that is something that has actually pushed the markets today.
I'm fascinated by the rand story here. I mean, okay, I imagine in the United States it's all about the elections, about protests. I mean, you've got, it seems almost paramilitaries on the streets. Very, very frightening moment.
Yes.
You've got a European deal. Are you about to throw the phrase risk appetite at me? Is that why the rand is doing well?
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. But it's also short-lived because you still have the specter of those COVID-19 numbers surging, and the prospect which is still high for some countries to revert to, a harder lockdown. So that doesn't go away. And this is just, shows how markets are volatile, and any bit of information and news is actually going to move either the rand or some indices, positive or negative. And that's why we're seeing the markets doing so well today. We've had news of vaccines, reports that vaccines have done well in human trials. So there has been good news at the beginning of this week, but no one knows how the markets could turn. It could be anything. Maybe Donald Trump, say tweeting something tonight. It could be just anything.
And I mean, it's fascinating what the markets are tracking, because for ages the markets have really been pushed by one thing: vaccine trials, right,
yes,
for COVID-19. The European deal, though, is huge. There's been big disagreements there. I think the Dutch Prime Minister amazingly ended up playing a significant role in that. What this does, I suppose, is just provide a little bit of reassurance when the markets really needed it.
Absolutely. And when you look at the commodities as well, when it comes to oil, it also shot up 3% today. Brent crude oil, just all around, it's been quite good news. News also that the U.S. is looking at another $2 trillion stimulus package that Congress is going to start talking about on Thursday. That tells investors that there will be money in the market, and the governments and central banks are actually willing to actually come to the party.
Okay, and then the DA pulling out of its court action against the finance minister and the SAA business rescue plan. Now, I'm confused. So there was this letter last week, right? The Department of Public Enterprises says we have concurrence from the minister that there'll be money. Now the minister is saying, the money might be there, but it's not mine.
It's actually, he explained it very well, the finance minister, Tidomboweni, in the court letters that he was responding to the DA. And we've committed to sourcing the funding. not to actually fund the new SAA. Sourcing the funding it means different things, and he listed a couple of them, saying that we are looking for an equity partner. We can actually talk to pension funds and asset managers who want to come in and invest. There could be there could be many other things that could actually be the source of that funding, not particularly the National Treasury and the public purse. So something that is quite important going into tomorrow, where we expect the business rescue practitioners to actually tell us that this letter is actually sufficient for them to actually implement the business rescue plan, as it were. If it is not sufficient and they absolutely need reassurance that the 10.1 billion, 10.4 billion is going to really come, then we are going back to the drawing board, another creditors meeting on the 24th of June. But we wait to hear tomorrow from the business rescue practitioners whether this is sufficient for them to go ahead with the implementation of the business rescue plan.
We'll find a vaccine before we fix SAA, right?
Probably.
Be on the phone for that. Xolani Mbanjwa, thanks very much indeed.